Express are on sale now at TribecaFilm.com.
Every day, WNYC is working to get closer to New York and to New Yorkers. The underwriting we get from businesses helps power our independence. Learn how your organization can join in at sponsorship.wnyc.org.
I'm Maria Hinojosa. This week on Latino USA, I speak with iconic feminist, organizer, and a leader in the American labor movement, Dolores Huerta. It's the first interview she gave after the New York Times revealed the sexual assault allegations against Cesar Chavez. That's this week on Latino USA. Tonight at 9 on WNYC.
The first season of the series Paradise was set in a bunker in a post-apocalyptic world. In season 2, we learn there is life outside. On the next All of It, we'll be joined by Julianne Nicholson, who plays the bunker's mastermind, and Thomas Dougherty, who leads the Outsiders. And speaking of the underground, we'll kick off our series with musicians who perform in the subway. I'm Allison Stewart. Join us for All of It, weekdays at noon on WNYC.
Coming up on 6:51 on this Thursday morning, Marketplace Morning Report is next. And then later on Morning Edition, the acting TSA administrator told Congress yesterday that the agency faces a dire situation. She says many security officers working without pay have quit or continue to call in sick, and the agency may have to close smaller airports. More on that on Morning Edition in about 15 minutes. 50 degrees now with clouds. Those clouds will clear up mid-morning, and then we'll have some gradual clearing. A high all the way up near 72 degrees. Wind gusts topping 20 miles an hour. Tomorrow, showers likely in the morning, into the morning rush hour, and then cloudy as the temperature falls through the morning to 50 degrees by 9 o'clock or so.
Population growth in the U.S. is slowing.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Schwab. At Schwab, investors get choices ranging from self-directed investing to full-service wealth management all in one place. Learn more at schwab.com. And by Odoo.com, offering integrated programs for sales, customer relationship management, inventory, and other business operations, designed to work together as a customizable software suite. Odoo, all your business on one platform.
From Marketplace, I'm Sabri Benishore, in for David Brancaccio. Population growth is slowing in most counties in the U.S. That's according to new population estimates released today by the Census Bureau. The new numbers are a snapshot of the end of the Biden administration and the beginning of President Trump's second term. Marketplace's Nancy Marshall-Genzer has more.
The Census Bureau population estimates are from July 1st, 2024 to July 1st, 2025. During that time, 310 of the 387 U.S. metro areas had slower population growth, with dramatic declines along the U.S.-Mexico border in places like Laredo, Texas, Yuma, Arizona, and El Centro, California. The Census Bureau says the growth in metro areas fell on average from about 1% to around 0.5%. It says this is largely due to a big decrease in net international migration. Census says immigration fell in 9 out of 10 U.S. counties. This time period covers immigration restrictions at the end of the Biden administration, which President Trump expanded. The U.S. has relied on immigration for young workers to make up for the declining birth rate and to contribute to Social Security to support the wave of retiring baby boomers. The headcount in some parts of the country did increase as people from other parts of the U.S. moved in. Houston and Fort Worth led the pack, followed by cities in the South, such as Atlanta. Myrtle Beach and Spartanburg, South Carolina, attracted retirees from other parts of the country. I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer for Marketplace.
Congress is set to vote today on a Republican proposal to fund the TSA and most of Homeland Security minus immigration enforcement. The expectation is that it's not going to pass. Democrats want reforms to immigration enforcement. The partial government shutdown has meant TSA workers have not been paid in 41 days. Congress leaves town tomorrow for spring break. All right, let's do the numbers. Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures are all down in the 7 to 9/10% range, with Dow futures down 310 points. The yield on the 10-year Treasury is 4.38%. 1%. Bonuses for Wall Street executives surged 9% in 2025 to a total of just over $49 billion. This is according to the New York State Comptroller's Office. The average bonus was $246,900. Google says it plans to appeal a verdict from a jury in Los Angeles that found it and Meta were negligent for not warning users about the dangers of their platforms. Meta says it's evaluating its legal options. Alphabet stock is down 0.8% pre-market. Meta down more than 1%.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Amazon Business, committed to business buying solutions to empower leaders to streamline and focus on growth. Learn more about smart business buying at amazonbusiness.com. And by GEP. With GEP Key Agentic AI and GEP Smart Software, GEP is at the forefront in agentic procurement orchestration and autonomous supply chains.
One of the places consumers can turn to when they need quick cash is pawn shops. And apparently, a lot of people need that quick cash. There are two publicly traded pawn shop companies, and they both reported record revenues and said customers are borrowing more. Marketplace's Carla Javier has this look at the pawn shop economy.
E&B Pawn is a clean, bright blue building in Moorestown, New Jersey, which is about 15 miles outside of Philly. Ted Briganti takes me inside to show me what he's got.
You know, just standard comic books to like super rare coins for sale, cards, newer tools.
People sell items to the shop, and the shop sells them to other customers. Then there are loans for people who need quick cash but don't want to permanently part with something valuable to them, say a grandmother's ring or a laptop.
We're willing to lend, let's say, $1,000. They then have 90 days to come in and get their stuff back.
By paying back the principal with interest. That's how the shop makes money. If the customer can't pay, E&B has the right to sell the collateral eventually, though Briganti says they really try to avoid this.
We're not the first place that they want to be, and they need help. We'll try to help them while at the same time trying to do our business.
While most pawn shops are small and independently owned, the publicly traded companies say loan balances are up lately. EasyCorp CFO Tim Jugmans says in 2022, the average loan was around $160.
In 25, the average was close to $210. So it gives you an indication like over time, this is slowly increasing because the need for cash is increasing for customers.
The other publicly traded pawn shop operator is First Cash. Anthony Chicumba follows the company for Loop Capital Markets.
This really is a Goldilocks environment.
Customers can get bigger loans on jewelry because of rising gold and silver prices. Also, while consumers are squeezed, the unemployment rate is mostly holding steady.
They're in a position where they can repay that pawn loan, where they can occasionally go in and, buy pawn merchandise that has been forfeited.
Though some of the increased pawn activity could be due to the relative lack of such loans during and after COVID, says author and economist Scott Fulford.
Since then, people's savings have gone down, and they've had less savings available to deal with the problems that come up in their lives. So over the last several years, there's been an increase in pawn, payday, and other kinds of high-cost debt.
Some E&B pawn customers today are selling and shopping. Others are here for loans. Owner Ted Briganti walks by.
You can say, all the fancy numbers, GDP, all that sort of stuff, but that doesn't affect most people. Most people just try to get through the regular week without being broke. And I'll see them come in for, get a little bit of gas money, get some grocery money, handle this bill, handle that bill.
Most customers in the store didn't want to be interviewed, but Adina Cruz was willing to talk outside. She's been pawning her jewelry here for 2 decades, sometimes to cover a bill or a trip.
The bank, I don't want to deal with them like that on just a little small loan. And the payday loans, that's another horror story. I don't even want to think about that.
Nowadays, she says she's squeezed, but she's working, and she's not here for a loan this time. Instead, she's picking up a $200 gold cross she's been paying installments on since November, a birthday gift to herself. I'm Carla Javier from Marketplace.
And in New York, I'm Sabri Benishore with the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.
WNYC is supported by the New York Philharmonic. Domingo Hindoyan makes his New York Philharmonic debut, conducting